Why, hello there, my fellow agents. What's up? It's Robbie with Open World Games, and yes, we are revisiting the world of Tom Clancy, The Division. We've got some brand new information for you today. There is a ton of it, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. But also, really fast, I wanted to give a special thank you to Opinion Outpost for being kind enough to sponsor this video and believe in what I'm doing here on Open World Games. What in the world is Opinion Outpost, Robbie? What are you talking about? Well, Opinion Outpost, they're very reputable. They have hundreds of thousands of users on their site. What you can do is you can check it out down in the description below. Check out the link. You can fill out surveys to redeem gift cards, cash, and that sort of thing, including Amazon gift cards, iTunes gift cards. There's a wide assortment of rewards that you can participate in. But, you know, if you love TV series, if you love movies, if you love video games, video games, who likes video games? I think all of us do. Go ahead and give your opinions by checking out the link in the description below. And, you know, you'll be even entered for a random drawing into a $10,000 giveaway. So you really have nothing to lose. They're very reputable. Again, check them out. Hundreds of thousands of people are a part of their community already, giving their opinions and redeeming awards. So guys, again, thank you to Opinion Outpost for sponsoring this video. So yes, we've got a ton of information thanks to a brand new podcast, interview, and some very important comments from our community managers out on Reddit. That's where we're going to start. Because I think a lot of you are wondering about the third-person perspective. How will it shape up for Tom Clancy The Division? Will we be seeing shoulder swapping in Tom Clancy The Division? Well, this is what Amish Bode, community manager over at Ubisoft Massive, had to say about that. Hello, Amish, by the way. He goes on to say, shoulder swap is definitely in and is triggered by pressing L3. Awesome. Now, this is huge news because I told you guys previously in videos that I think shoulder swapping has to be in. At E3 2015, it was not present from my experience at all. But it seems like they have added that in now. No comments about melee yet. There's rumors that we would possibly be seeing melee combat introduced in the final build of the Division. We'll see what happens with that. It would sure be nice if we got both shoulder swapping and melee, and you know, maybe even crouching. We'll see what happens there. But what's good is we're going to be getting shoulder swapping, and I think this is great. It's also something that they're using in Star Wars Battlefront. It adds so much to the gameplay, so I cannot wait to try it. So Amish Bode also sat down with Ubisoft Massive's Chad Chatterton and Damien Tonero, I hope I got that right, to pick their brains about the environmental aspects of the Division. Boy, oh boy, they revealed some interesting new details. Now, they've been working on a new weather system, which they describe as very complex. And there's an actual logic to the weather. So it'll be realistic. You'll get a little bit of a warning before the snow comes in, for example. You'll see the overcast building up. You'll know that a storm is coming in. And you know, they describe weather as adding a lot of replayability to the game. So you won't be roaming around the world and experiencing the same area the same way twice. At least that's how they are describing it. And they go on to describe that they are very proud of their nighttime. I really do think this game, with the city lights and that sort of thing, especially during this Christmassy type season, will really shine. Also, you know, weather will change the way AI and NPCs will see you dependent on the amount of fog. So, you know, this could be a possibility. If you don't want to go rogue in the dark zone, you want to be sneak, perhaps you could go in and stealth your way through a dark zone thanks to the fog. Now, this would be a cool mechanic, as long as you can counter enemies' abilities to see through walls, which I think will be a skill in the game. So they're very proud of the Snowdrop Engine, of course. I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous. So that's some new details about this, and this is the important one. Cars will also react. When you jump on them, for example, they will have real suspension, so they, you know, will lower to your weight as you jump atop of them. And this is really cool. Vegetation will react to a player when he is walking through it. This is the type of detail that you really don't expect for an open world game, and thanks to the Snowdrop Engine, we will be seeing this in New York City. Also, clothes will react accordingly to weather. You will be seeing snow on your shoulder, You'll be seeing your clothing get wet over time. That sort of thing will be in the game. So do you remember goofing around with the soccer ball in Destiny? There's going to be some things like that, I believe, in the Division as it described. Yes, you can manipulate some of your environment. There are dynamic objects that you can mess around with. Trash was a big example. You can move this around and just have a lot of fun with it. I think it's going to be a lot like Destiny's soccer ball, but could there be more of a point to moving trash around? Who knows? I'm not really too sure if there's really going to be a point to it, but just to have fun and throw trash at your friends. But I think it's going to add a little bit of personality to roaming around that open world in the Division. So Strategy Former did an interview with another Ubisoft massive specialist, Rodrigo Cortés, and they asked a ton of questions like this one. They go on to say, sometimes in games like this, it's pretty pointless to group up with friends unless you make sure you're always at the same exact level, because you can't do any damage to higher level enemies. How do you deal with that problem in the Division? Very, very good question. This is what Rodrigo Cortés had to say about that. There will be a level span, but for example, since we're somewhat realistic in the terms of the world in which the game is set, and the gameplay has realism in it, there's not going to be those moments in an MMORPG where you're standing next to someone shooting them in the head and nothing is happening. You can't shoot at them or do anything because they're too powerful and you're too low level. That won't happen in our game. You could still affect things and engage high level players. It's going to be harder because you don't have those skills or gear, but you can do it. Sounds a lot like Borderlands. I think it's going to be ideal to probably play with a group that stays within, you know, a level or two of one another. You really don't want to get too spread apart, of course, in any game like The Division or even Borderlands. So I think it's going to be wise here to stay at a similar level. But you low level players that are just starting out, maybe you pick up The Division a month after the release or something like that and you're trying to catch up, that's very much possible. So there's going to be major penalties in the game for going rogue, and this is the sort of thing I wanted to hear because I didn't want going rogue to be one of the biggest features of the game. I really wanted teamwork to be more of that feature. So in some ways they are discouraging going rogue if you want to play as a team. It sounds like there's going to be absolutely huge risks. Here's what Rodrigo had to say. He said, yes, so you're with a bunch of people you can trust, but there are penalties for going rogue and dying as a rogue agent. The players who take you out will be rewarded accordingly. The players who die as a rogue agent will be punished accordingly. They go on to say they haven't communicated exactly what those penalties are because right now it's a balancing issue. They want to get that down, but going rogue carries a big risk versus reward mentality. They don't want you just going in the game and going, I have to be a rogue agent to play Tom Clancy The Division. I think they want to encourage more of the solo players that want to be more of your troll players to say, man, I do want to take the risk. And I think that risk will be when they see someone take a very rare loot item. They're like, you know what? This is it. I have to go rogue. This is worth the risk. I'm going to do it right now. I think I will get into that situation where I'm like, should I pull the trigger or not? Oh, God. And I pull the freaking trigger, and I think that's what's going to be a blast about The Division. Now, they did say this, that we will be experiencing a lot of the risk versus reward mechanics for rogue agents this December for the Xbox One beta. So that mechanic is going to be very much alive in the beta, and we will get to experience what goes on when you die as a rogue agent, what penalties you can expect. And you know, a lot of us miss this detail. When you think about rogue agents in The Division, you think that you can shoot anyone, your teammates, whatever. So if you're on your squad, you have to tell them, give them a warning that you're going rogue. They have a few seconds to prepare for your betrayal. Of course, you could time this right. They may be so distracted where they don't notice you disengaging from the group. But the good news is there isn't any friendly fire within your squad, so you can't accidentally go rogue against your own squad. I was extremely worried about this mechanic, and it sounds like they know what they're doing. That's not going to be happening in the game. So there you guys have it. All things Tom Clancy The Division. Once again, a very special thank you to Opinion Outpost for supporting this video, for sponsoring it. Check them out in the description below. And guys, stay tuned here to Open World Games because we've got tons and tons of news about the Division coming up and a backlog of videos you can actually check out right now. I did one last week, so be sure to check that out. But guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, sticking with me here at Open World Games. Cannot wait for the Xbox One beta. Oh yes, it's going to be a ton of fun. And then early 2016, we will be getting the PS4 and PC beta. I think they may roll out the Xbox One beta with that as well again, so everyone can talk about and enjoy it. But as always, stay tuned for more open world gaming goodness and Tom Clancy The Division news. Thanks guys for watching, and I will see you soon enough in Mid-Crisis New York City. Oh boy. See ya, bye!